So Apple's Worldwide Development Conference happened this week, and I would say it's not really just for developers, it's really for consumers and definitely for shareholders. It's really just announcements to show the shareholders, here's what we're doing as Apple, bringing to the table, here's the new technology, the new innovations, and here's how we can continue to make your shares increase in value. So I'm going to predominantly focus on the artificial intelligence side of things, and Apple actually released something called Apple Intelligence, just rebranding artificial intelligence to Apple Intelligence. So whenever you hear the word AI, you're going to now think of Apple. So essentially, they've made your phone or your iPhone intelligent, but this is only going to work if your phone is the i15 Pro or above. Just if you've got a later model, sorry, you're out of luck. You're not going to get these new updates. But if you are lucky enough to have one of the newer versions of the iPhone, then your phone is going to become a lot more resourceful. So with Apple Intelligence, you can do things like pull up photos by simply describing what's in the photo. You can generate emojis if you're into that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't really consider this really innovative, but you can do it at least. Other than just finding particular photos in your phone, you can find all other types of resources. So let's say you had a file with an old card that you had that had a particular driver license that you wanted to find, and maybe it happened 10 years ago you had this document. You can search for it just by telling Siri or telling your phone, and it should be able to find it, as long as of course it is stored in your phone. Now there were various other updates which aren't just related to the iPhone and aren't just sort of AI related, but so I'll quickly just gloss over them, but I'm not going to go into any detail. So you had the Vision Pro, which if you had 2D photos, you can now make those 2D photos appear in 3D. You can shake your head in a certain direction to communicate with Siri. You can hide apps more effectively. You can customize apps on the phone screen. If you forget your phone, you can access it from your Mac. If you like to use the Apple Pencil on your iPad and you like to actually write a lot, it's got a program, it's got software that can actually update your handwriting to make it more legible or make it into a particular style that you may like. The iPad also now has a calculator, which you can also use the Apple Pencil to scribble your equations into the iPad, and the calculator app will actually answer the equation for you. And Vision OS just gets a lot better. Okay, as you may know, Apple have been sort of seen to be lagging in the AI innovation space. I mean, you've had ChatGPT, which is powered by OpenAI, which is also in partnership with Microsoft, which has just sort of killed the game, really. Claude Opus has been amazing, which is led by Anthropic, and Apple just haven't really innovated in the space, to be dead honest. So now this is their time to actually make amends and just make things really great. So they've been under pressure to innovate in AI, and having recently been surpassed by Microsoft and Nvidia in market value, they're really under pressure. So this rebranding of artificial intelligence to Apple Intelligence is part of that sort of changing the public perception to make everyone think that Apple is actually winning when it comes to AI. Now, Apple are using its on devices first, or using AI models first on its devices, as opposed to in the cloud or somewhere where, you know, the user doesn't actually trust that their data is safe. But as you know, because Apple aren't really great in the AI space, what happens is they've partnered with GPT-4 and OpenAI to actually use GPT-4 when their own AI doesn't work effectively. And as you know, GPT-4o is actually connected to the cloud. So in a sense, Apple aren't really just keeping your data on its device if it needs to go to ChatGPT-4 to answer particular questions or to get feedback for your queries. So to allay this fear, or to address this problem, they've introduced private cloud compute to handle complex tasks while claiming to protect user privacy. Data processing by third-party servers raise privacy concerns. So apparently they've got this audit team to make sure that you can actually know for a fact where your data's been, and know for certain that it's not on some random cloud somewhere, which I find it hard to believe that at the end of the day, if it's not on, the data's not directly just on your phone, that it's not somewhere in the ethos. So Apple definitely have improved in the AI space. Siri's capabilities have improved. You can sort of ask it questions. It's now more robust at getting you the answers. You can also type directly to Siri if you want to answer in that way. And Apple's new AI features is likely to render a lot of competitors' products obsolete, which is always the case. We know the AI space is really fast moving, and a lot of startups that basically started recently, they know they're always at risk of sort of losing market share and just being defunct altogether. So the need to constantly innovate is always there. And unfortunately, the largest players in the game always have the advantage. I mean, we've seen, like I've stated in other videos, companies such as Microsoft, Google really just mess things up with a lot of their products in the past, but still somehow manage to come back in and win the game. And Apple's partnership with OpenAI benefits Microsoft too, due to their stake in OpenAI. Potential future integration with Google's Gemini AI also exists. So it's kind of weird that Apple are sort of rebranding their artificial intelligence to be called Apple Intelligence, and really sort of improve their public perception of what they're doing in the AI space. But at the end of the day, Microsoft has still surpassed Apple in terms of their revenue share, and so have other companies like Nvidia. And that distance might only grow because, like I said, Apple have partnered with sort of OpenAI, and they're also in partnership with Microsoft, which has a cut of OpenAI's future profits. Essentially, Apple are trying. I'm not 100% convinced that the data will be completely private, but one thing I can say is I believe it will be a lot more private than other companies, than having your data with other companies such as Google. And these changes, even though I believe they're not really groundbreaking, I believe they've improved Siri, and they've done a decent amount of changes, which could be worth you actually buying an iPhone 15 Pro or some of the new Apple products just to get your hands on this sort of artificial intelligence. But we won't see until the late fall all of these introductions of these products, and that's when we'll be able to actually see whether it's worth purchasing any new Apple products. Like and subscribe, guys.